Hi and welcome to this video in which we're going to look at the Key Stage 2 computing topic of selection. I always like to think about selection with children and any concept in computing really, using everyday examples which the children are familiar with, and then we can extend those examples into computing terms. So what we've got here is a character who's saying, I chose my purple shirt today, I didn't really think about it though. Didn't really think about it, probably because it doesn't matter that much what colour shirt he chose. It could have been a purple shirt, it could have been a light blue shirt, it could have been a black shirt, it could have been any colour. Might be similar when you're choosing a sandwich. Some decisions though, we do need to think about a little bit more. Take this example. You've got an appointment to be at and you're looking at the train timetables, deciding which train to catch. You probably won't just do it randomly, will you? You'll put a bit more thought into it. You'll apply some selection criteria to choose the best train. You'll think about, will this train get me there in good time? Will it allow me any transfers that I need to make at the other end of my journey or this end of my journey? And will it allow me a little bit of room in case things go wrong time-wise? So there's more criteria for it. Computers always need to make this kind of decision in our coding because unlike this character here who's got hunches or can make a decision without thinking about it too much, code can't really do that. So in coding we sometimes end up needing to make this more complicated kind of decision for really simple things. Let's take a look at a couple of examples, shall we? So in this case here, just using the idea of, is it likely to rain? So the first kind of way of using this selection we've got here, it's only really got one side that matters. Is it likely to rain? Yes, it is. Take an umbrella, the end. If it's not likely to rain, we don't really need to put an instruction here because it doesn't matter. So I can click on this, I can delete it, I can delete this sort of leg here, and then I can just stretch my little arrow here to go down like that. Ooh, that's looking a bit, see if we can do it a bit neater there, something like that. You get the idea. So the no line, if it's likely to rain, no, just don't do anything. That's the end of it. So this is a way of making a decision where we only need to give an instruction if the answer to this is true. Is it likely to rain? Yes, take an umbrella. If it's not likely to rain, it doesn't matter. So only one instruction on the outcomes needed. Now, I want to take a quick look at how this kind of decision or selection works in coding, in 2Code in particular. And we're going to take a look here. Well, I've got an app set up in which a wizard is going to think of some random animals. And if the animal that the wizard thinks of is a monkey, I want it to show a picture of a monkey. And then it says end on here. It'll actually go back and think of another random animal and keep on doing that every 3 seconds. But if the animal isn't a monkey, then I just don't really want it to do anything. We'll just let it sit and do whatever it wants. So let's take a look at how that works in the 2Code environment. We're going to be using this if block here, and it says if something equals something, then, and we've got one line underneath it. Now this part here where it says if and we've got this space, this is our test. So in this case the test is the animal a monkey? Yes or no? Now this bit here is just saying if the animal equals a monkey, then we're going to put something like show the picture of the monkey into this box underneath, into this indented box. So here's the code for it, or it should be. Here we are. So the bit which is important about this is just this little bit at the bottom here where we're saying if the word that gets invented, if the random word equals monkey, and you can see how we've got this in the if block here. As I say, don't worry too much about what's happening above it. This is just these 3 lines or blocks of code above are just going to generate a random word for the animal every 3 seconds and get the wizard to say that. What we're interested in is this bit here where if that word is monkey, then the animal's image is going to be set to monkey And I think we probably need to show the monkey as well, don't we? So I'm going to drag the animal code into here and say image. What am I doing? I'm doing it wrong. Don't need to change the image. I just need to show it. So I'll just click here and say show. And then I'll run this code and let's watch what happens. So here's the wizard. Every 3 seconds, he's thought of a monkey to start with, and it's showing a monkey. Now he says cat, but there's still a monkey there. Now he says monkey again, and we've got the monkey there still. Dog, still the monkey there. So it sort of works-ish, doesn't it? Let's press stop and just press play again. So it starts off with a dog there now. Now it's thought of the monkey, so we've got the monkey there. Now it said cat, but we've still got a monkey there. So I think we could make some improvements to this, couldn't we really? So let's take a look, because what we really want to do here is to have a slightly different kind of logic. Now, we had this, this function here where we said only give an instruction if a test is true, but actually this is our second case here, isn't it? Where we're giving an instruction whether it's true or false. Because this time what we're heading towards is something a bit more like the case of traffic lights, where our decision starts and we think, are the traffic lights green? Yes, they are. Go. That's the end of the decision at the traffic lights. Or are the traffic lights green? No. Stop. And that's the end of the decision. And then we'll take another decision as we see the light changing and developing. So we've got this difference here where we don't, it does matter what happens if the traffic lights are green, just as much as it does matter if the traffic lights aren't green. So we have an instruction on each side of the decision tree here. So in the case of our wizard, this is a better sort of logic for it. So the decision starts, and then we say, is the animal a monkey? And if we follow the yes line, then we'll show the monkey and end that particular decision. And if the animal is a monkey, no, we show nothing. So this time we want to give an instruction if the animal is not a monkey. So what we use is a slightly different block here, which is called an if-else block, which you can see a picture of here. Let's take a look at how that works in the coding itself. Now I've had to make a couple of other changes here. You can see the coding is all a little bit longer. So let's just talk through it. And I'm a really big fan of getting children to talk through their code in natural language, because code is just a form of explaining something in plain English, really. So how would we explain this in plain English? Well, unlike last time when the dog appeared at the start of the wizard's show, this time let's get it so it's just the wizard appearing. So we're going to say the animal show or hide is set to hide. So the wizard is going to appear on the stage when we look in design mode, but when we start it off, the dog is not going to appear, the animal there. So let's exit design mode. So that's what that line of code does. Then the next bit we've got is the same. Every 3 seconds we've got the timer, which is going to make the word, it's going to set a random animal to our word. The wizard is going to speak the word for 3 seconds. And then what we have is this text here. We have this selection block. So if the word text equals monkey, then set the animal's image to monkey rather than the dog, and set the animal's show or hide value to show. Then we get this extra block down here that says else. So it's just saying, or else, animal show or hide, set it to hide. Now what this means is that every 3 seconds we get a new random word, and if that, then we get the selection check. So the computer is going to select what happens. If the text equals monkey, then we show the monkey, and we set it, well, we set the animal's image to monkey, and we set the show or hide to show. And if it's not a monkey, so or else, in other cases we say animal show or hide set to hide. Let's see if it works. So here's our wizard, no animal to start with, great. He's saying cat, no sign of any animals yet. Monkey, here's the monkey. Will it disappear? It's chosen a monkey again. It's chosen a dog and it's disappeared. So this logic here is working in this case. So we're selecting to do the right actions for what the wizard has chosen as his word, because we're now able to have this else block, which tells us what happens if this test in here is not true. So the top part is always what happens if our if check is true, and the bottom part is always what happens if our if check is not true or if it's false. The other thing that you can do with this, which might be of interest to children, is you can click to see the code, which will, if you're using Gibbon or Gorilla levels of 2 code, you can see the code behind the blocks, which is a language called JavaScript. And each block is basically a piece of JavaScript, which you are putting together and changing. And when you click on see code, you see the actual code behind it, which is great for children to see, that they can realize that they are writing real computer code here. The other thing which I perhaps should have mentioned on here is how do we put things into these blocks? Because I've showed you ready-made ones. Well, let's change this a little bit so that, you know, perhaps we show a picture of a dog if it chooses a dog. So we'll change the magic word from monkey to something else. So to do this, I'm just going to click into here, into this box, and any of these blocks you can click on and it'll give you what it could be. So if I click on equals, I can see it, I can make something happen if something equals something else, if something does not equal something else, if something's greater than, or if something's less than. Let's go and change this word here then to dog. So I'll just go in here. So if the magic word is dog, then the animal image set to, so you see that? I'm just clicking on here. Now animal has different properties. I could make it speak, change its X, Y properties and all sorts of things, but I'm interested in the image for it. So we'll set the image to, is there a dog on there, or do I need to search? Yeah, we've got a dog that looks a bit like Scooby-Doo there, haven't we? So just by clicking on these options, we can change them very, very easy. It's really quite straightforward to use. This is once you've had a play with it a little bit, it shouldn't be too terrifying, I hope. Let's press play and see if it works then. So remember, we're looking for the magic word to be dog now, and the wizard will show us a dog, hopefully. So monkey, and no monkeys appeared. That's a good sign. Cat, nothing. There's a dog. It's a very big dog, isn't it? Gosh, okay. And so it's worked well. In case you're not sure how I could make the dog smaller, I can click into design mode here, click onto the animal, and once I've clicked on the animal in design mode, I can click on scale, and I can just scale it down a little bit, because I didn't realize that Scooby was so much bigger than the sheepdog that we've got here. So we'll just test that out again. Hopefully we'll have a more realistic size creature in our show. Come on, dog. There we go, and that looks a lot better, doesn't it? So if you'd like to have a go at using some if statements now, you could do that quite easily. So if you go into Tools and then pop down to the 2 code section, bits that I'd recommend would be to have a look at Vehicles 2 here in the Gibbon section of the activities. Guard the Castle also has plenty of if statements in it, as does Genie and Switching Background, and I think off the top of my head that Night and Day do as well. So this row of activities here contains if statements to get you going and to have a practice. I hope you found that useful, and thanks very much indeed for watching. Good luck with your selections. Bye bye.